A horribly familiar sight.
Britain's
This
streets
time a
called-
shooting near Harrow in North
There's a
London.
knife crime.
We are suffering
across
from a
England
knife
and
crime
Wales.
epidemic. A knife crime epidemic.
Knife crime has become a long-standing problem affecting the lives of young people of all race, culture and religion. However, the black community has seen the most deaths and the most backlash. This is due to a multitude of reasons, with many young people finding themselves born into these situations. Nevertheless, members of this community have managed to escape these circumstances, building careers for themselves in music, with drill becoming one of Britain's most popular genres.
I was trying to aim at hats, 15 I was trying to play with waps, 14 years it could have turned me mad, 3J slaps really hurting man, 16 I was trying to aim at hats, 15 I was trying to play with waps, 14 years it could have turned me mad, 3J slaps really hurting man.
Influential drill artists such as Booger B and SJ have both found their path to catch up with them once they had made a living for themselves within drill. I'm on my way to speak to someone who's had experience with knife crime, losing a close friend due to it. I'm going to get his perspective on the current situation in the capital and how he feels the situation should be handled. I'm here at the Wardour Street estate, speaking to a member of the Nine Gang, who will remain anonymous regarding his involvement with and thoughts on knife crime. Tell me about your experiences with knife crime.
Well, you know, knife crime affects the whole community, you know. I know someone very close to me personally who died as a result of knife crime, and it's really affecting the community harshly, and I feel that the police aren't doing enough to try to stop it, and I just think that, you know, it's getting out of hand.
So you mentioned the lack of police involvement. What do you believe that they can do more?
It's simple, it's down to the government. They've got to reinvest in the community. The kids, they're carrying knives because they've got nothing else to do. The government cut the funding on youth centres, on football pitches. They need to reinvest that money so our kids are playing football and doing sport instead of carrying knives.
So do you personally carry a knife with you?
I do. But the thing is, it's 2020. You don't know what people are carrying. I'm doing it for protection. I ain't looking to stab anyone, but I know that other people are carrying it, and it's a chain effect, you know what I'm saying? Everybody carries knives, and it's just for protection.
The answers he gave me for his reasonings behind carrying a knife don't surprise me. Many people like him believe that their safety will only be assured when they have a knife in their possession, which really highlights the current situation in our country. Drill has steadily become the most infamous genre of music in the UK, taken off in the capital. People have blamed the aggressive and hate-filled bars for the recent waves of stabbing and gang behaviour in England, with a large number of youths taking influence from these songs. Drill has faced protests as well from the shutdown movement, calling for YouTube to remove all drill songs. But is drill all to blame?
Do my traffic lights. 2 ups in a day by surprise, no knives. I'll swing my arms with my guys. If my B keeps telling me lies, she reminds me of. My these wanna see me shine, don't want me in the trying to air this blind.
In order to find out more, I'm heading over to Tottenham, where drill has had a huge impact on the people here, with the best example of this being Earth B. Drill has allowed them to escape the remits of the blocks and build a future for themselves. Drill has had such an impact here, providing many young people both a voice and an aspiration. Walking around this, in many ways, deprived area and seeing all these young people, you can almost feel the impact that drill has had on them, and yet it's only the negative and violence that's portrayed in the media. You know, I think it's important to acknowledge that this is not a new phenomenon. Tupac best described it in an interview, claiming that if you keep asking players to be fed, society won't cool. That was the music of the 80s, the 90s and the 2000s. Now people are tired of waiting, they're tired of asking, they're kicking down that door with all they have, all the hatred and violence that's rooted deep inside them. I guess you can directly link this to many people's claims of racism and discrimination against the UK's government and media.
I was doing trips with bro, I was trying to out this pack, creep and bang, bear got the boys in blue, got the up block under attack, slide and crash.
Many black communities feel let down by the actions of the government, even branding them racist. Dave publicly called out Boris Johnson in his live Brits performance, branded him a racist and mentioning the poor dealings following the Grenfell disaster.
It is racist, whether or not it feels racist. The truth is, our prime ministers are real racist. They say, you should be grateful we're the least racist. I say the least racist is still racist. Want rehabilitation, now that would be amazing. But Grenfell victims still need accommodation. And we still need support for the Windrush generation, reparations for the time our people spent on plantation.
This caused mass controversy, sparking a discussion if these comments should be allowed or not. But it also highlighted how a very large number of black people feel in this country. There are certain bars that stick out the most, really hammering home how a big group feel. The bars go, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Kids dies, the blacker the killer, the sweeter the news. And if he's white, you give him a chance. He's ill and confused. If he's black, he's probably armed. You see him and shoot. I'm at Dollars Valley Estate in Barnet, North London, and straight away you can see the disadvantages that are present. Parents here have to work multiple jobs just to afford the absolute, and I can't stress this enough, the absolute basics in life. Nothing lavish at all. Nothing. I spoke with a member of the estate on their experiences of racial discrimination. They wanted to remain anonymous, so their voice has been distorted. So, what racial discriminations have you experienced whilst living here?
Yeah, I've experienced racial discrimination previously, so at the moment I've been looking for a couple of jobs and I've been turned down from a couple of places I've applied for. And at the moment as well, I've got 2 kids I'm caring for and it's been quite a struggle looking after them. And I think potentially the reason why I've been turned down from jobs is based on my race rather than my actual ability. So it's quite tough if I'm honest.
So obviously you said you have 2 kids. Are you worried about how your current financial situation will affect their future and their opportunities?
Yeah, I really hope they have a level playing field as other kids, because I don't want them to go through the same things they've gone through as me. So yeah, I think my finances isn't going to help the situation as well, because obviously I'm not going to be able to necessarily give them 100% like other parents can do, and so yeah, I think my finances does worry me because I don't want them to go through the same as me, like I said.
So do you think that your current location of residence weighs on employers' minds when you apply there?
Yeah, totally. I think employers see where I'm from, they automatically assume that I'm from the private area, so I'm going to be like a nuisance in this, so yeah, 100%.
Speaking to who we'll refer to as Paul, it really shows the deep-rooted racism that is still prevalent in today's world. The scary thing is that unless you're subject to it directly, you don't even really know that it exists. That's the really scary thing, how deep and hidden it really all is.
The British government has unveiled its post-Brexit immigration plans, which will end the free movement of people from Europe. In its place, the UK will introduce a points-based system that prioritises skilled workers who can speak English.
However, recently hasn't been quite so hidden. The new proposed point system that was introduced by the government to help deal with its new Brexit immigration has caused nationwide controversy due to its outright racism and discrimination. The racism and discrimination that exists in the UK is one of the main factors behind knife crime. It reminds me of a poem that I heard recently.
There's an epidemic, a deadly disease.
Doing the round of London streets, mostly it strikes in a few postcodes.
Enters the body and then the blood flows.
I cannot lie, I'll tell you the truth. The victim is almost always a youth.